And we're live. Lovely. So hi everyone, welcome to the fourth day of the summit, the online tribe leaders summit. I'm just checking I get the thing up on my phone. If you can hear us and see us, say hello, tell us who's here. It just takes a minute to refresh. There we are. Definitely, yeah, we're definitely live. Fabulous. So yeah, please write all comments and say hello to us, and you know, chat along with us as we go. I will be checking the comments, so so we'll just do as we do. So today, so it's a lovely Saturday relaxed morning, and today, oh, we've got 3 comments. Good. So obviously going live. Hi Nicola, hi Heidi, hello Michelle, hello Emma. Yeah, someone said they haven't been getting the reminders, so that's bugged me, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But sorry if you didn't get a reminder about today, but I don't know why that is, but anyway, I'll find that out. So today we have the lovely Jo Rosa on here, and this couldn't be a more perfect topic for Jo, because we're kind of at the stage, I imagine, in the journey, as I've set it out, when we're creating a community. We started taking our first steps. We started communicating, like we've committed, because we're communicating about our vision to other people. We're sharing it. We're starting to maybe create posts, think about our marketing, and we've started, maybe we've even got people in our community already. But then what tends to happen is that something won't go right, funnily enough, because nothing ever goes exactly how you imagine it to go in your head. And so that can be multiple different things, right? So it could be financial, it could be a time issue, it could be the people in your group aren't the right people, it could be that they're not engaging fully. Whatever the issue is, there's going to be something that comes up. And Jo is a master of dealing with anything in the world, really. She just deals with challenges because that's what she teaches. So Jo is an addiction, sobriety and alignment mentor, and she's written 2 books. She's got 2 communities, membership communities online, which she's been running for one's nearly 4 years now, Jo?
Over 4 years, yeah.
Over 4 years, which is Quantum Sobriety. And she's got another one called Blissful Infinity, which is kind of the next step from what I gather, isn't it? Yeah. So it's the next step onwards from, like, you know, once you've got through sobriety, then it's like the next step, like life is no longer about the addiction and it's all about the next step. So and she's really a master meditation teacher. And as you can see, her beautiful setting, she's got a retreat centre in Suffolk, and she teaches yoga and meditation, has done for years and years. So basically, the whole reason why this is perfect is because Jo, the key to any success is this kind of perseverance and commitment, and to be able to adapt and you know, work with your challenges, not just give up and become too overwhelmed. And so obviously, because Jo teaches meditation, this is perfect. So I'm going to find out all about her challenges setting up these communities, so very practical challenges, but also like how she sees you know, how, like, tools and tricks that we can do on the inner journey to help us feel like solid and like we want to carry on and like we're in it for the long term. So hi Jill, hi Sarah, hello Zozia, hello Nicola. Thank you all for joining us on this Saturday morning. It's great to have people here. So Jo, can you tell us a little bit about quantum sobriety and the beginning of your journey with that decision making in terms of setting up your community?
Well, thank you firstly for having me here. Lovely to have the invite. Lovely to be here and talk about this this subject. I absolutely love my communities so much. They're everything. They're absolutely everything. And the first thing that I'd like to really say is that everything that my communities are about is direct experience. So I would only ever talk about or teach or share or mentor around something that I've personally experienced, because then the whole energy and foundation of your community is authentic, is based upon what you know, what you've learned. So that's really the first thing. I had what I now know was a little tiny snippet of enlightenment when I was about 6. And I had absolutely no idea what this was. And I feel very blessed now, sort of 40 years later, realizing what that was. And I was the first time, it happened 2 times, sort of. I don't know how close together, but around about the same time. And I don't know why. I don't know the reason for it. But I just was overcome with this feeling of total bliss, total contentment. It was just like the world stood still for I don't know how long, and it was just a moment suspended in time. I was in this void, and I then went on to try to recreate that because it was so beautiful. It was so, it was bliss. It was everything. It was gorgeous. It was so empty yet so full at the same time. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have anyone when I was 6 and growing up in Essex to talk to about this, or to share it, or to find out what it was. So I eventually got into drugs and sort of the party scene, and I actually really did get quite close to this, like on ecstasy and dancing in raves and banging music, and I got quite close to it. So I got really into drugs, the high drugs, the elevated drugs, cocaine and ecstasy and all of that. And then the hangovers were just too much. So I realized that actually it's not what I was looking for. So I began the search beyond that. And then I was very, very lucky to have found yoga and meditation. And I've been teaching for 20 years. So the practice, it then all became about the practice. And I realized, oh, this is it. This is it. I sometimes reached that suspended moment in my yoga practice or in my meditation. So my journey began sort of about 25 years ago to stabilize that feeling. And that's what the communities offer, is what I have discovered myself. I'm like a guinea pig. And I think teachers in the holistic world, we tend to be like guinea pigs, and that's the only way to be. You have to be a guinea pig. You have to go there first.
Yes, love that.
And then it's like, take my hand. I can guide you. I can support you. I can show the way. So it's like opening a door. So you're not doing it for people, but you're opening a door and creating a space, and the retreat center is the physical space where people can do that. But actually it's not about the physical space. It's about the internal space, like coming in. And for me, alignment, it's bliss will come from alignment. So you've got to get into that first. Now, everyone is addicted. So you may be addicted to a substance, but if you're not addicted to a substance, you're probably addicted to sugar. Yeah, I would say probably 99% of people are addicted to sugar, certainly in this country. And without even probably knowing it, like eating bread and pasta and all sorts of things that you wouldn't imagine there was sugar in. And then it becomes more, the journey becomes more and more and more subtle, and we realize at a very subtle level we're addicted to pleasure. So can we even let go of pleasure? Can we even let go of the things that we really want and feel like we need? And then that becomes the journey, letting go of that. And then that's really what Blissful Infinity is based upon, is the journey. I'm 7.5 years sober from drugs and alcohol. And I needed another community, and Blissful Infinity was created at the end of last year. And I needed a second community because quantum sobriety was very much who I used to be. And I needed to balance out who I used to be with who I am and who I'm becoming. So I feel with these two communities, I feel, oh, this is it. I'm in a place of balance. I can talk about who I used to be and where I've come from, but then I also have a platform where I can talk about where I am now and where I'm going. So it feels much more whole now. But we're all addicted, and actually those with substance addictions, I really believe that they are forced into a very powerful journey because we are all addicted. And for those that don't think they're addicted, they don't get pushed into this into this journey. But if you recognize that you're an addict, then you're more open to looking inward and discovering actually what is below all of this, all these layers of desires and needs and wants and sort of what we fill the void with. Because if we keep filling up that gap, keep filling up that void, then we never experience the emptiness and the beauty and the bliss. If it's just if it's all filled up with something else, there's no space for it. So the meditations that I teach are all about space. I don't know if I answered your question. I can't remember.
I think you did, and much more. Like that was a brilliant opening. Thank you very much. We've had some comments there. I obviously want to pick in there, but so Birdie said hi, morning Birdie. Tess is here. Hello, Tess. Emma, you really do. It's exactly like that. I think she's probably. Tell me what you mean, Emma. Is that about the addiction? Like you get pulled in with the addiction? Yes. A clean state of bliss has got to be the ultimate bliss. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we're both fans of this. We won't go veer too far off, but we're both like you introduced me to Bentino Massaro, so I absolutely like feel like I'm here. Like I get addicted to teachers as well. I'm like, this person knows everything, and this I get like hooked on different things. But I was thinking about how addicted to our stories we are as well when you were saying all that. Oh, so much feed in the story of our limits and our why we can't and who we are and all of that as well. Like I'm really noticing like the energy spent in our limits versus the energy spent on the possibility and the creation. So that was great. So again, I don't know if I've probably said this already, but this is just such a great, like the journey for sobriety or any substance addiction it comes with so much pain and discomfort, right? And it's like we cannot avoid that in any journey. But I think many people unconsciously, they logically probably know that's not going to be the case, but unconsciously they're waiting for a point where they're going to start a journey like creating a community because they think at some point it's going to be really easy or it's going to be really like, it's just going to be simple. And although there might be right times and wrong times in your life, it's like there's going to be growth pains. And my ego literally batters me at any point I'm doing anything that's expansive, basically. It batters me. It makes me like lie on the floor and lie on the sofa and stuff like that. Like not the floor, but the sofa. But you know, like it's just like, so I really want to discuss moving through the pain because you've helped me a lot with this. It's like feel the uncomfortableness, embrace it almost, like sit with it, sit with that pain, sit with the craving, sit with the cringiness of no one engaging on it, or you've put a live out and it's like, oh, I hate the live, and like sit with all the expensive pain. Can you tell us about any of that journey, like with specifically creating a community? Did you have any of those moments when you were like, oh, what the hell have I done this for?
I don't think so. Because it's been a very obvious path. Like initially, like the initial creating of both the communities were very natural, very flowy.
Right.
Obviously, along the way, so the initial creation of the community was very natural, very obvious. But along the way, yeah, for sure, definitely, the going live for the first time in Facebook. I remember thinking, I've just got to do it, and I've just got to get this first one out of the way.
Mm.
And I know that once I've done it once, then I know that I can do it. And I can remember it. I can literally, can't remember what I said, but I remember where I was. And I was actually I just walked outside the house here towards we've got a bench, which is been made out of the part of a tree that fell down. And I remember I just sat over there, and it was like the quickest thing, because, and I don't think I ever watched it back. Because it was so cringy. But I very, very quickly, video is obviously so important, and it's something that you're great at, and you do very naturally and often, and it's the best way of connecting with your audience. And I think a crash course in videoing yourself and live streams is really important in your community journey. And I was lucky enough, when I moved here 7 years ago, I lived in Hertfordshire, just around the corner to where you live now. Yeah. And I had a community, a yoga community, and I had a beautiful community, lovely students, and I built up my community for a long time. And then I just, this retreat centre happened so quickly that I just left. So I was doing online yoga and meditation classes, and so filming them here and then uploading them and then sending them off. So like a little mini community. It was a community, and we had a Facebook group, and this was 7 years ago, and it was a way for me to move on but still have that connection. So I was basically recording and editing and giving out an hour yoga class and a 30-minute meditation class every week. Yeah. And I had to, and because I was editing, I had to really look at myself and really watch myself and really get over the egoic ickiness of, oh, I look like that. Oh, I look really fat in that outfit. Oh God, I look oh, look at my face, and oh, I can see a roll of fat, and oh God, I've got wrinkles, and oh, look at that, and oh, my hair looks shit, and I had to, and oh, my voice, oh, I hate my voice. Is that really what I sound like? And I had to really push through all of that. And it was because it was every week, it was an hour and a half every week, and because I was doing the edits, I couldn't get away from looking at myself. And so that was a really great in at the deep end, just get over yourself kind of situation. And that was really good. That was a sort of trial by fire, sort of straight in at the deep end.
Yes.
And sort of just get over it. Just get over yourself.
Just get over it, innit?
Just completely get over it. But I have since been through, I can't do a live stream with no makeup. I can't do a live stream, or I can't do a video for my website without curling my hair. I can't show up without doing this, that, and the other. Today I've literally I've water washed. I haven't washed my hair for 46 days. I'm doing a little bit of
it looks really clean, doesn't it?
It's really bizarre. It's not shiny like it usually is, but it's fine. It's very interesting. No makeup at all, absolutely nothing on my face. And I'm really actually enjoying showing up as me and being even more authentic, with no makeup, without having put a hairdryer on my hair, absolutely nothing. It's like, it's new for me. To this level of authenticity is new for me, and it feels so good, because why do I need to have permission or to get validation from my audience when actually what I'm teaching is to be completely at one with yourself? And it's like a complete disconnect and an incongruent message that I need to show you me with makeup on, when actually I'm teaching you to drop into that gap, into yourself, and to let go of the outside world and to truly find that space within you. It's like, it's a two different messages going on there.
Yes.
But to go back to your question, which I've digressed from. I mean, I've been through bankruptcy and failure, business failure, 9 years ago, 9.5 years ago, and sort of had to rebuild my ego from that, which was so damaged. I was so damaged from that, from feeling like a complete failure, to building it all back up again. But so yes,
how strong does that make you, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. But it always comes back to meditation. Meditation is just the greatest metaphor for success in my eyes. Success in my eyes now is the ability to drop into that space. Success for me isn't on the outside. Success is how stable can I make that space? How little can I need and want? That's for me, that's success. So my whole philosophy and my whole idea of for my communities is very different to when I set them up, or certainly when I set Quantum Sobriety up, which was it launched on the 1st of February 2016 as an online program and an online community. I wanted the numbers to be big and to have this amount of people, and my measure of success was to have a lot of members. Whereas 4 and a bit years, no, how many? 2006, 4 and a bit years later, the number is slightly smaller than slightly smaller than we sort of began that first year off. We started with about 40 members at the launch, and then we went up to 108 members, and we've leveled off now at 50. And 50 is actually a gorgeous number, because you're always going to have a percentage of people. I see it like a target. So you've got your bullseye in the middle, and your bullseye in the middle is your really engaged members who see everything, who have you on, have notifications on. They want to see everything. They want to see everyone's post. They want to see every live. They watch live. They're there live. They comment. They engage. And then the next circle out are people who are there but they don't comment. And then the next circle out are people who are sometimes there. And then the next circle out, occasionally there. And then the outer circle where for some reason they're still in the community but they never engage. And so I've learned to accept. I remember at the beginning I got really frustrated. Why aren't you engaging in the program? And I used to sort of take it personally.
Like because I'm I don't even know what the thought is there, but I've had a similar experience. It's like, oh my god, it was just a total mind fuck. Like, what was the point in even thinking of this? Like, clearly no one cares.
What have I done wrong? I'm not enough. The program's rubbish. This is just the wrong thing to do. Complete meltdown. But then, and I don't even remember doing a live stream in the early days and saying, why aren't you engaging? Come on, this content is so good.
Did you actually say that?
I'm free. I want you to be free. You know, my passion is so great. I want everyone to experience what I experience, because I've been snivelling. I've literally laid down on the floor in the road, pounding my hands in a drunken state. I just got kicked out of a bar. This was when I lived in Thailand. I'd got kicked out of a bar after a night on vodka. Apparently I tried to beat someone up. You know, I have no recollection of me doing that. I used to get, I was an angry drunk, and I'd got kicked out, and my friends wouldn't give me any more booze. And I do have a faint recollection of lying down in the road, face down, and going like this, and just, yeah, I mean, it's my life was very, very different to how it is today. I was in a destructive relationship, and I cried every single day. Yeah. I cried every day. I tried to find the words every day to end the relationship, but I didn't have that inner strength. And it was the practice. It was the finding myself and finding that space and that inner strength that gave me eventually the confidence and the inner belief to actually say the words. But there's, you know, we all have a story. We all have that. It's a cultural thing. We're not taught at school to love ourselves. We're not taught at school to look after ourselves. We're just not taught these things, and so we have to have the motivation to find out these things for ourselves, to find teachers. You know, when I was 6 and I had a moment, a brief like flicker of enlightenment, I had nobody. There was nobody that I could reach out to. There wasn't anybody even that I could think, oh, I could ask that person. I actually stole from somewhere a Bible because my parents are atheist. And I stole a Bible because that was the only reference point that I had to what I had experienced. And so I was like reading a Bible at night under the covers with a torch because I was trying to find an answer. So we have to find that inner strength and that inner belief and that inner knowledge. For me, it's all come through meditation. Yeah. It's all come from that inner reflection, that inner connection. And then when you have that, and because I use the word stabilize a lot at the moment, it feels like it's something, you know, I'm stabilizing a very new state, but you can stabilize right at the beginning of the journey. You can stabilize, you know, it's like a stepping stone. You start at the beginning, and then you take the first step and you stabilize that step, and then the next step and you stabilize that one, and then the next one and you stabilize. So we're all, the journey never ends. Ever ends, but we're all at a different point in our journey, stabilizing what we've just experienced and what we've just understood. So it's ongoing. So I don't have so I've let go of wanting my communities to be big, and actually I don't want really big communities.
Yeah, they're very good quality. It's much better to have good quality.
So much better.
I see these thousands of people in the Facebook groups, these people with like 20,000 people in and stuff like that. And it's just like a bit spammy. You know, it's just a bit like, some of them I think have got it, but it is literally like a lot of them, it's very hard to lead something of that size, isn't it? Yeah. Like it's hard to kind of, and you do have to let it go. But I really fundamentally believe in quality over quantity now, like absolutely. And going deeper in the I think it was something Walton said to me the other day. He didn't say it on the interview, but when we were talking before, it's going deeper into the message and the quality of the content that you deliver, even if it's only to one person, rather than trying to get more and more and more people into this place. So you're so exhausted doing that you don't ever really deliver anything, because we've all got the same amount of time in the day. And obviously you can expand and grow in an automated way, and there's all sorts of things you can do in terms of expanding. But if you haven't got that foundation and that ultimate like feeling really like potent at the heart, then it's never going to be the satisfying thing that you've decided, because the number's just a number. Like once you hit the number, what you're going to do, like have a moment of like bliss, and then it's over.
But then that's ego.
Yeah, exactly. It's just,
you know, I've hit a number. Well, great, you've hit a number, but that is part of the egoic ickiness. It's so what, you've hit a number. What does that even mean? That's it doesn't mean anything other than to your ego.
And then it's gone.
Yeah.
It's about a second of,
and I don't know how much you could truly serve a huge community. It's very surface level, because there's no real interaction one-to-one. Because there's no way you would literally be online responding to every single comment that you know. I mean, I don't respond to every single comment in my two communities, but I see everything. I see every single post. Because the communities are of a good size, I see everything. There isn't that. I know where everyone's at, those that are posting, and those that aren't posting, I know where they're at, because they're not posting, or they're I can't see them, and they're not. I mean, a lot of the time in the sobriety journey, that means that someone's struggling is when they've disappeared, but ultimately they're not engaging. So you know, whether it's sobriety or building if you're a business mentor, business coach, or whatever your community is about, it's when they're disappearing, they're not engaged with what you are.
So how did they go from like you being like, oh my god, no one's engaging, to like what, like how did it go? Did you just, what do you think happened between when you were saying no one's engaging to now when people do engage, and it has got that lovely feeling of a community?
Consistency. Definitely consistency. It's there's, and commitment. But you know, and again, there's this, you know, meditation comes in. You know, there's for me, my life and what I teach in my communities is parallel to meditation. It's like my meditation practice teaches me everything that I need to know about life and how to deliver. It's like my meditation is my inner journey, and then my outer journey is my work and my communities. And it's just a mirror for the inner journey. So the two things are running side by side. They run parallel to each other. One is the inner and one is the outer, and they are a mirror of the two. So I can see where I'm at by what I'm delivering. And sometimes I'm like, well, that was a really shit live stream. And at those times, I can see that I'm not feeling super aligned. That there's something going on, that there's a reason that I'm not really feeling connected to myself, you know. And then that I can see that, and I can reflect on that, and then I know that, right, it's time to up the self-care. It's time to do more practice. You know, I'm in a period at the moment where I literally cannot stop. I cannot stop meditating. But I mean, for me, there's different layers within. So I do my morning meditation. I sit on my cushion. I record.
Don't we all love to look like that, everyone? Wouldn't we all love a meditation space like that?
I know, I am super lucky, and obviously the retreat centre's closed at the moment, so I'm really the only person that is using this. You know, Don, my husband, his meditation studio is the gardens, which is, you know, our gardens are like 3.5 acres, and then he actually looks after a 500-acre estate, which is, you know, sort of like not ours, but the surrounding farm that the house is sitting within. So he's kind of looking after 500 acres, not all of it, but the pathways around the fields. So he's got his space, and he sits on his mower, and he's in a real place of meditation and chainsawing. You have to be in the moment. You have to be so present when you're chainsawing. No, not that I've ever done it, but, you know, watching him, he's there. I wouldn't go, Dom, when he's in the middle of that. Anyway, I don't have to again. So I record my meditation, my own meditation. I just sit on my cushion, and the camera's on. The camera's over in the corner there, and so I'm recording from the corner of the room. And that's free. So that's free content for sort of within the Inner Guidance page. And people can see that there is an authenticity about that, about me and about what I'm teaching, because everything that I'm teaching is based on meditation, because that for me is the truth. You know, that's where everything the whole of life comes from, is that inner connection. So for me to be able to share that and to share my truth, and for people just to come in and check in, and they come, and if you're, you know, especially in lockdown, but even outside of lockdown, you're meditating at home on your own, you're not very motivated to do that. So you can just log into me and connect with me, sitting on my cushion, and sort of, you know, collapsing time and space, and we're all meditating together in this room, especially if you've been here, but even if you've not been here, you can connect to the space and the energy of it. So there's an authenticity by sharing something for free. People know that,
yes,
I'm not full of shit.
Yeah, and it's not just the means to an end as well.
You know, I'm not saying, oh, you should meditate, it's great, but not doing it myself. You know, so it's so important to be able to commit and share and show up, commit and show up, commit and show up. But there is also the commitment to yourself to not show up when you don't feel to show up. The push and the pull, the ebb and the flow.
Yes.
And I've been doing these live streams of my meditation since Facebook Live started. I was like literally one of the first people to do Facebook Lives, and it was so I don't know, I think it must have been about 2000, it must have been 2016 or 17. And so I've been recording my silent meditations for a long time. And then last year I was on a real ebb, and I just didn't feel to. So rather than do it, but really not want to do it, I didn't do it. And I stopped live streaming for, I don't know how long, a few months. I stopped live streaming because I didn't want people to be looking in on me. It was authentic for me to just to not push, to just relax. And actually I spent, it was over winter, until actually I was sitting in bed and meditating. I didn't want to come in the studio. I didn't want to go hi every morning, and because I didn't feel like it. I wasn't in that time. I needed to rest. It was you know, I can manifest anything. If I want something, I know how to get it. I know how to manifest. But then there's also, you have to rest. And it's like a time of embodying energy rather than output. It's input, and it's that inputting and embodying and being without having to do anything, you know. And sometimes when I am going through, and it's almost like going up into a next step of my understanding of the nature of reality, it's like, I don't want to share this yet. I can't share my energy because my energy is too precious. It's like I'm raw. It's like I've just stepped into something new, and I need to,
yes, I remember,
understand it myself first before I share it with you.
And you did that with quantum sobriety, because I remember being in Catherine's like mastermind day or whatever it was called, and you being like, oh, it's gonna give birth, but I can't speak it yet. You even remember you saying the word was difficult for you because you were like, and that is a form of attachment, wouldn't you say? Like, it's a form of like, but there is a space for it being cultivated without shared, your vision, right? That it's like it's not ready yet. And so it's about honoring these two sides. Whether you're in resistance, this is, I literally come back to this every single time, and I do it with my clients as well. Like, when are you in resistance, and when are you really truly just doing something because it's not right? And there's a quality to the different, there's two different things there, isn't it? But that's something that you get to know, and it's about trust, isn't it? How would you define the difference between like knowing when you're just like, okay, there's something not working here, I'm flogging a dead horse, or it's like, I'm just not showing up because I'm frigging scared?
It's again, I'll come back to meditation. Yeah. It's when you know yourself, you know the difference between the two. There's an expansion or there's a contraction.
Right.
And sometimes for me, showing up is a contraction. I just don't want to show up. I don't want to share. And it's really, and sometimes when I do my weekly live stream into the group, I sometimes say that this is how I'm feeling, and I'm honest at the beginning. I don't think I'm going to be able to do the hour, you know, and I feel, you know, perhaps I shouldn't feel like it has to be an hour, you know. That's part of my conditioning, that I've made this commitment and it has to be an hour each week. But sometimes, I did this a couple of weeks ago, I was really not feeling it at all. I was really tired, and I said right at the beginning, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling myself. I'm not feeling the expansion. I don't think this live stream is going to be an hour. And actually it was probably about 45, 50 minutes, but I spent half of that in meditation, leading a meditation with them, with the group. And that for me was aligned. So the showing up took a different flavor to how it normally is, because that was really authentic. But the more you can come back to yourself, the more you can know if it's a yes or a no, if it's an expansion or a contraction, if it's a output or input day. And that is so important. You were the first person, you and Catherine and Neil were the first person on that day to hear the words quantum sobriety. And it was like Catherine coaxed it out of me and said, you're in a safe environment, you can say the words. And I remember it was September, it launched on the 1st of February the following year. And I'd literally woken up in the June, so this was 2015, I'd woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning on I think it was a full moon or a new moon. I woke up just literally bolt upright like this, and quantum sobriety.
Oh wow!
It was a download. It was, you know, in the middle of the night, quantum sobriety, and I got up and I got out of bed. I went into my office and I looked up quantum sobriety. Nobody had it. There was no reference of putting those two words together. So I sent an email to my web developer. I said, buy quantumsobriety.com.co.uk.
We always go for the domain first, didn't we?
And I got the domain and I got the Facebook page. I literally, the Twitter handle, Instagram, I've got everything. Yeah. And then I went back to bed. And so that was in the June. And then I started to write the website, and then I registered, I got a trademark. So it's Quantum Sobriety is a registered name. And that was why I didn't want to tell you on that September days, because the trademark hadn't come through. Yeah. And so there was it was definitely a birthing period, and I felt really protective of it. I knew that it was special, knew that it was special. I knew that it was something really, it was something to be protected, you know, I've never been pregnant, but I talk about sobriety and the trimesters of pregnancy. It's like that, being that first trimester, you don't tell anyone. Yeah. You don't tell anyone. So, and I think that this can be a metaphor for many things. And it's like, it's bubbling up inside you. It's not ready to be talked about. It's something that, you need to work through internally and through journaling and in your practice and with close family and confidants, friends, to really, to get to that second trimester where you do start to test the water and you start talking about it, and you come into that second stage, and then the third stage, when you're getting the content, you're getting ready for launch, you're ready, there's an excitement, you're buying the cots, you're buying the baby bottles and the clothes, and everything is really building up, and there's an urgency there. You've got to get everything ready before the birth. And there's a lot of things that have got to be done in your business before you launch that community. You've got to cross the T's and dot the I's, and you've got to get all of that ready in the final trimester, and then you birth. It's same with sobriety. You don't tell anyone in the beginning. Just keep, it's no one else's fucking business. You know, that first 3 months, you've got to really look after yourself. And same with the community, same with your ideas and your business. It's not anyone else's business in the beginning. You've got to get really clear within yourself. Is this something that I'm not going to get bored of? Is this something that feels like it expands me, that I'm going to go the course with this, like a child? It's like this. My communities and my children. I'm so protective over them. I'm, you know, I do watch over them, and I do nurture them and love them. You know, I love all of the people in my groups. I love them all. I have a relationship with most of them. The ones that aren't certainly in the Facebook group, I have a personal connection with all of them, and that for me is really important, because they're getting vulnerable by being in the community, and I want to give them what I can give them, which I could never do with a big community.
Yeah, I have a similar desire as well. Like, it's because it's just, I'm going to go through some of these comments. Hang on a minute. Right, I'm going to go through these comments. But I have a similar desire as well. With the social media priestess school, it's like, okay, I could create a course and just sell it, and like it could just be a course, or I could genuinely hold the people in there and hold their hands and take them through every single, you know, like they can come online, they can do I can literally do the tech for them. There's like so many different things that you get, because it's like, this is genuine support. It's not like some course that will get you from A to B that you probably won't even do, because because that support is necessary for the transformation. And so I agree, if you're really looking at taking people through a process or a part of their life, it does require kind of, you know, to start small at least, so then if you do expand, you know how to expand. Because if you just go for numbers, then it's never going to, you can't sustain it. So, okay, so I'm going to read these comments, right? So, right. So, oh, we're like that idea, addicted to our stories. Yep, that is so much of a problem. Mine does too, really bad. Thanks, Emma. Michelle, love this. I just talked about this in my group this week, referencing 12 steps. We can't eradicate addictions or habits, but replace them with healthy ones. Yes. It's as if you were speaking directly to me then. I've quit sugar 2 years ago when I became diabetic, and this lockdown, I've just quit smoking. It's as if you just know who to put in front of me next. I still need to fill that void, but I feel this summit is just ticking all my boxes and putting my neck teachers before me. Thank you, Lucy, and everyone involved. Oh, thank you so much, Zodia. Thanks for your gratitude. Yeah, it's interesting, like, I didn't even know I was doing this till like a week ago or something. A week and a half ago, I decided to do this. So it just come out of nowhere. It's like a download, like you said, and then it's like it just happens. So there's sometimes acting fast is a just, you've got to just act on the creation when it's coming.
Because if you don't act, then and you want to come back to it a week later, you when you come back to it, you, even if you read some notes, like I've done this loads of times, it's like, oh, I'll do that now, and then I read it and I'm like, there's no energy. It's like it's dead.
Yes.
The energy just isn't there any longer.
Yes, and this is why, and Emma said something about this earlier, which actually I want to just quickly address because she wrote it in a post. I don't create any content and schedule it, like nothing, zero. I don't do that whole scheduling thing. I do say to my clients, you can schedule your content if you want to, but I literally have no connection to the content that goes out if I've created it a week in advance. And the idea of batching, just, it's like I'm just doing it from the head. I can't do it from the head. If I do it from the head, it's not real.
Yeah, it's not personal.
Yeah, so you don't have to do it from the head. You don't have to do it like that. So Trisha Scott's here. Hi, Trisha. I'm happy showing up and without makeup. Yeah, me too. Every time I think or get caught up in giving up my reflexology, I lose myself, and I think I have to drop it when I'm focusing on money or numbers. Yep. So that's exactly where I am now again. Jill, yeah, all that. Gosh, we've got so many comments. That's where I am. I feel like I'm pouring water over my fire. No, I actually feel like I'm pissing on my own fire, just trying to put out myself out and become dust. Yeah, so you've just got like, I mean, you've just got to say no in the end, don't you? Like, you've got to act like how do you get over a story, Joe? How do you get over a meditate, don't you? I know what
You meditate. I'm like a broken record. I'm literally like a broken record.
Yeah.
You just it's the more you sit with yourself and know yourself and know your true self and know that if you then know if you're acting from your head or you're acting from your truth. And it's the more, I mean, my experience is the more I meditate, the less real this human life becomes, and the more I enjoy resting in the awareness, and I become the observer. It's like I'm watching Joe doing all of these things, but I'm not attached to Joe as much. So so with meditation, I've always taught, my meditations are always themed around this gap, creating this gap between, you know, the addiction or the stress or the worry or the feelings of doubt or whatever it is. You know, for me, the story was addiction, was substances, creating space away from it. So I created, when I was living in Thailand, my then boyfriend was training to be a dive instructor. So we used to go diving a lot. And so we'd be on the boat, we'd drive out to, boat out to this amazing, you know, various amazing sites. We used to all jump in with our gear on, and we would descend down to the bottom. And I would be down at the bottom, and I would look up and I would see the other boats and the other divers jumping in and their little feet and the splashes, and you could see the waves but then down at the bottom, I could see all of that happening, but I realized that I could observe it, but I wasn't it. It was like, it was in physical form, I was experiencing being the observer. So I could see all of this, but it wasn't affecting me.
Yeah.
So I created the ocean meditation 20 years ago, which is something that's still very relevant, still in the program, and something that that I advise people to go back to keep going back to, because it's become something that I just am. So it's not even something that I have to visualize. I just am. I'm in that place. I'm not up here.
So there's no, it doesn't matter as much, does it? This is
No.
it. It just doesn't matter. It's like playing. Like, it's like,
yeah, life is like playing.
Yeah, you've got to play. And so this is it. It's like, so it's validation. So this thing that needs validation, you mentioned this thing that's needing the validation, not allowing things to not go right. It's that needs to disappear, isn't it? It's that thing, because it's not the outcome. The outcome is so insignificant, actually, in the grand scheme of everything, isn't it? The outcome of what your creations produce. It's like it's the journey that you go through to detach, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
So it's like you have to prove to yourself that you don't have to do anything, but you don't have, like, you have to prove to yourself that voice, that thing is not frigging where it's at. Like, that thing isn't. So for me, the only way to really prove that is to act in spite of it. It doesn't disappear. I'm sure you can eradicate it through meditation, but to get to a place like Joe's getting to, like, that's consistency and repetition. But ultimately, you've just got to frigging do what you've got to act in spite of it. You've just got to act. It's like, act as if you've got £10,000 coming to you tonight. If you don't do that thing, you're not getting that £10,000. It's like, you've just got to move in some way, shape or form. and just don't allow it to keep you stuck. Anyway, that's what I think. So Heidi said, I think if you make your content from the heart, what other people think of the content is none of your business. Yeah, I love that. Yes.
I love that. So true.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's totally their stuff. What they think of it is their stuff. When it's coming from this place of flow and from truth and from authenticity, it doesn't fucking matter what anyone else thinks. It's like, I mean, I've had so many trolls with quantum sobriety because it's taking a different stance to the 12-step program.
Oh yes, I know that drama.
I've had to really go through that sort of journey of trolling, because what I'm offering is freedom, absolute freedom. You step into the reality, and my slogan is step into the reality where you've never been addicted. You've never been, I don't feel this Jo of today has never been addicted.
Yeah.
I haven't ever been addicted. Jo of yesterday was addicted, but Jo of today is not addicted. So I would never say, hi, I'm Jo and I'm an alcoholic. Hi, I'm Jo and I'm a cocaine addict, because that's not who I am today. So why would I stand up in a meeting over and over and over and over again and reaffirm who I used to be?
Yeah.
Why would I reaffirm who I used to be? Why am I not affirming who I am today and who I'm becoming?
Yeah.
So I've had I've had someone say on Facebook on one of my quantum sobriety posts in the beginning, you are killing people because you are stopping them from getting to the 12-step program, which is the only thing that works.
Yeah, so that's a level of troll. Yeah. Wow.
It's like, wow. Okay, that's interesting. And I actually conversed with this person for a couple of days because it was the first time that I'd been trolled, and I was trying to get my point across and they were trying to get their point across, and I suddenly realized that here we have two addicts fighting each other, two people who are never going to back down.
Yeah.
What am I doing? And it was I actually saw trolling for what it was in that moment, because it's like a bull and a bull are never ever going to back down from each other. And it's like, I have my view, you have your view. I'm not going to change my view.
Yeah.
To what your view is, because I believe in freedom. I don't believe in being an addict for the rest of my life. I don't believe that. I'll never ever believe that. So I kept saying to this person, let's agree to disagree, and I can accept that you have your views, but I will never have your views. So actually it's only perception. It's only perception. And this is something that I posted in one of my groups yesterday, is that the only thing that we've ever experienced is perception.
Yeah.
Our perception. And everyone's perception is different. An event happens and every single one of us perceive it in a different way. And none of those are wrong. So we put content out, we know that that is our truth, and how it is received is their perception. It's nothing to do with us. So again, it's like putting it out, putting that content out, letting it go. And then there's that space in between, that gap in between, and not letting anything go into that gap.
Yeah.
Just let that, it's up to you. It's completely up to you how you take my content.
Yeah.
And that's again how meditation is paralleled.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Right. Okay. So we've got Heidi. Thank you. As in, you don't need to take the energy on board. Yeah. Perfect. So hi, Marina. That's what I find in reflexology, and I'm grieving it very much. The bigger the group, the more I feel lost. Jill says, bingo. Don't know what point that was, but sounds like it was good. Totally agree on the quality point, Lucy. You're not defined by the number of followers you have. just talk to the person in front of you. Yes, exactly. And Jamie's going to come on and he said that, you know, it's just one person at a time. You're dealing with one person at a time, you know, or tiny bit, and then that's how it's built. So that's all I see with help in growing a business. And I just assumed I couldn't run one because I just can't connect with that. Okay, well, then you won't connect with it, Emma. It's up to you. Diane is watching. Hi, Diane. One person at a time. Susan. Hi, Susan. Love your space. Bowls and gong. She loves your room. Just like at school, the right teacher, someone you feel a connection with, makes all the difference. Yeah. And I just find, like, even if you're that one teacher for one person, then isn't that worth creating your vision for? You know? Like, oh, what's this? Someone said, this man said to me, I always come back to it, Jesus didn't cry that he only had 10 disciples. And I loved that. I was like, yeah, he only had 10 disciples. He had loads of haters. Transition stage. It's like being 9 centimeters in birth and you think you can't do it when you're so close to birthing, and then you stop, breathe, come back, and then birth. Yes. Okay, Zosia, that's how I feel about the group I made 2 days ago. I feel like it's my baby ready to come forth. Yeah, that's how I feel with my clients. They even know me so well, they know what I like, etc. Hi, Nikki. Inspiration will find you active. Yes, Heidi. Absolutely, inspiration will find you active. I really like that. That's why I'm loving this summit, Lucy. You're really taking us through step by step, so the speakers are reaching out too. So refreshing to not be treated as a number. I can feel that you all really care about me and my development. Yeah, I think it's important to just go through the, like, look at how the people that we see on these screens that are doing so well, whatever, have gone through the demons that we are sitting with now. Like, they've already been there and they've moved through it. It's not that they never had it, you know? It's not that they never had it. So I don't batch content either, but always feel shamed into it. Yeah, I do not understand, Michelle, these people that sell like, oh, here's 365 days of content. I'm like, what do you do with that? You just post that content. I don't understand.
I know, it's someone else's content that means
oh my
that has
God.
no emotional context with you, with what you're delivering.
It's so bad. Yeah. And then, like, and content calendars, even content calendars, it's like, okay, you could use quotes, something that you like, that you're probably still going to like in 20 days time or something. But it's like, it can't really go further than that, because there's so much power in delivering what's coming up for you in the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if you had a load of content that was pre-scheduled and then coronavirus happens, and it's so, you know, potentially, and this was happening at the beginning, some of the stuff that was obviously scheduled was so irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know, almost like,
I know, the ads that were popping up.
Yeah.
Like, why haven't you turned your ads off?
Yeah, you've got to turn your ads off. You know, it's like this person.
Yeah, because the message suddenly went from having it all and freedom and going here and travel and sitting on beaches and stuff. It's like, it doesn't quite wash anymore, does it?
Yeah. No, you can't go out.
Right, so let's just completely change our message.
This is the most powerful time, I think, to you can't go out, you can't do anything, you're at home, what perfect time to really get to know yourself. And to map out what the next steps are, and actually, who are you? What do you want? I keep, this is the 2 questions I keep putting out into quantum sobriety. Who are you and what do you want?
Yeah. Lovely.
Got to know. You've got to know.
Okay, so nobody cares how much you know until they know you care. True authenticity. Yeah, and also what occurred to me when you were saying about your meditation, you're doing the meditation anyway, and now you're filming it, so you've done a double whammy there in terms of time, like in terms of your content creation. So I have heard a lot of content creators say, you know, just document. Don't like think that you have to come up with this amazing piece of, you know, like completely unique. And in a way, that's what you're doing, is this documentation. Can you hear me? I think you've frozen, Joe. Oh, I think it's frozen. I'm just going to read a few more of the comments till she comes back. Right, Emma, can you tell me if you can still hear me? Because I know Joe's frozen, but I'm wondering if it's just me. Yes, that's what's real, and what isn't, and in between is the door to perception. That's how I feel. I'm not speaking from the space I'm in. It does sell, and it's that I assumed I must be wrong. I found what a topic. Okay, so it must be Joe. I don't know what's going on then. I found what a topic I wrote on a certain day was also topic others spoke to also, just like a topic for the day is, I found that a topic I wrote on a certain day was also topic others spoke to also. I'm not sure what you mean, Birdie, sorry. Right, hopefully she's just going to come back on, but we might have to leave it there because it's the end of the live anyway. But I'm not really sure. Can she come back on? Hang on. Can you? Oh, she's just messaging me. Hang on. Oh, she's just. Oh, here she is. She's back. Whee!
I got kicked out.
Yeah, no worries. She's back. Great. Okay, fabulous. Well, it gave me a minute to read all those comments. So great. Well, we are actually way over time, but it doesn't matter. I'm fine with it. So yeah, so have we got any questions for Joe? Because I really do feel like we've kind of got to a pinnacle point anyway. Yeah, resonance with others on what needs to be spoken on that day. Okay. Great session, Lucy and Joe. Thank you so much. I think it's been on fire, Joe.
Well, it's gone so quickly. I just looked at the time, literally for the first time, and it's like, oh, okay, it's 11:41. Wow.
Yeah, we covered so much, and there was so much in what you said that I think is really, really, really helpful for people who are wanting to just jump on with this vision and not be afraid of that engagement and all the other things that come up. Or maybe, can I just ask you one more question? It's probably going to open a major rabbit hole, but so sorry, I am actually just going to ask one last question. So money, right? How have you, like, I suppose it's all the same, but how have you overcome your fears around money when it comes to creating communities and stuff like that? And how have you felt about, you know, this being of pure service to you, like pure you coming out into the world, and then also thinking about money? How do you rectify those two kind of opposite chakras almost, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I money is energy, so I don't get really caught up in money. It's there's a gap away from the need for money. I actually live quite a simple life. I don't go out much. So lockdown actually isn't very different for me to normal life, other than obviously people not coming here on retreat. But sort of day-to-day living is very simple. I don't need much. So money, I guess after the bankruptcy in 2009, I went bankrupt 09 at 9 a.m. And so after that, there was a real desire for money. and I really wanted to prove myself because I felt like such a failure, and I wanted a lot of money, and I wanted people to think I had a lot of money, and so there was a lot of ego ickiness in there of sort of really, but there was a sense of taking, like I wanted money, so there was a feeling of taking, like taking money, receiving money, but earning money. So it felt like there was a taking from the field. Whereas now, I don't really think about money because I'm giving to the field. So there's just this whole energy shift that's happened, and money is within that, but it's everything. So up until a few years ago, I was taking from the field, and now I give to the field. So what that means is that so when I'm taking from the field, I'm in a place of lack. I feel like I need this, I need that, I need the community, I need the numbers, I need the money, I need the validation from other people. So I'm lacking, I'm taking. There's just this whole energy of me, I'm lacking something, I need more of something, I need more validation, I need more love, I need more money, I need more of whatever. And then something clicked, and it was like, actually, I have everything that I could ever need within myself, and I don't need anything. And it became a teaching in itself. I don't need anything from anybody else, and that includes money. And so I'm giving away my gifts, my love, my service. I'm in service. It's not service to self, it's service to others. So I don't need money anymore. Actually, my life has got so simple. I don't need money. I don't want money. There's just my life isn't based upon how much I can get anymore, because there isn't anything that anybody else could give me that is of more value to what I can give myself within.
Right. Yes. Lovely. Okay. So that's because you meditate. That is because you keep touching that space. And I do see that. I do see that. It's something that occurs. You can't program that in. It's not a programming. It's something that occurs, isn't it, within you? Like the things that I know now and the way I react, it's like the places where I've kind of come up against issues before and then I've mastered. I've never mastered because I've just chosen I'm going to master it, and then I've mastered it, and then like it's just occurred through the desire to get to a different place with that, and then just walking forward into it, rather than it being like, okay, this is how you deal with this, bang. It's like it's a view through the space and sitting with yourself and journaling, and the more you do all of that, it's like that is what creates the things that you want. But it doesn't happen like, I want this, so I do this. And it's not like that, is it? It's kind of like what you're saying is that space that you go into, it kind of dissolves all other issues. It dissolves it, rather than it having to deal with every single thing all in each little.
Yeah. I mean, I used to sit in my office for 10 hours a day working, and I am more productive working 2 hours a day now in my office, but spending time working on my own self-care and my own practice. I'm in those 2 hours now, I'm so much more productive than I was when I wasn't looking after myself and I wasn't tending to my inner connection. I'm working 10 hours a day. Oh, I'm too busy. You know, as a meditation teacher, the amount of times I've said this in one of my books, if I got paid £1 for every time someone says to me, I haven't got time to meditate, I'd be a multi-millionaire. You know, and it's like, come on, guys, it's the meditation that will lead you to what you're searching for.
Yeah.
It's an inside job. It's not an outside job, it's an inside job.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
So I might sound like a broken record and go on and on and on
it's
and
so
on.
important, yeah.
But I always come back to meditation, which is why I wanted to broadcast this from my meditation space, because for me, success comes from sitting on the cushion. I am actually sitting on my cushion, on my meditation cushion.
Yeah.
Which is normally in the middle of the room.
Yeah, and you know, it's sitting with yourself. I mean, I'm a major advocate for, I have been the person to say I haven't got time to meditate, but I do meditate, but I also make sure that I'm following myself, and I'm similar to you now, like I have 12 hours childcare, and then in that time I'm always now making sure that I'm exercising and that I'm doing meditation, which I've got better at. There's so much discomfort there. There's so much discomfort with sitting with yourself. Yeah. Good. That's fine, though. I know.
You've got to sit there with the discomfort.
Like, you just got to do it. You just got to keep doing it. And it's like, and it's the same with anything. It's like, this is it. That is a metaphor for life. Like, you've just got to keep doing whatever you're doing. You just got to keep doing it and sit back down.
The magic only happens outside of the comfort zone.
Yes. Good. Right, okay. This has been absolutely fabulous. I feel like we could just, this has been an amazing interview. We've covered so much. So thank you so much for coming, Jo. And thank you all so much for really engaging with this. Just love it when people engage so much. It's brilliant. Thank you. And we'll leave it there. Oh, how do people find you? What can they do?
Quantumsobriety.com and blissfulinfinity.com are the two communities. I do also do online yoga, an online yoga class a week on Zoom, and an online meditation class on Zoom. So let's at the moment 3 communities, but you can find that 3rd community within blissfulinfinity.com. So they're the 2 main places: quantumsobriety.com, blissfulinfinity.com.
Right, that's perfect. So I'm going to put them above here, but obviously if someone wants to add you on Facebook and for the live meditation and stuff, where will they find that? That
is facebook.com/Inner Guidance Retreat Centre.
Okay, so I'll put that up there as well. All right, so lovely. Oh, we've got lots of hearts. Brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. And I'll see you on Tuesday. So we've got 2 days gap. I might go live, might not, don't know, in the next 2 days, just to kind of, I've got a couple of things I want to share as well. But on Tuesday, we've got Catherine Deaver, then we've got Jamie Smart on Wednesday, and then we've got me on Thursday. So I'll speak to you all soon, and thank you again, Jo. Amazing.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. It's been gorgeous.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, and have a lovely rest of your Saturday, everyone. Okay, see you later. Bye.